What's up everybody, Laughing Rama here, and today I've brought you guys another video in which I will be sharing 3 new decks that I've created. Some of these decks are modified versions of some popular decks in the meta, so without further ado, let's get started. So first up we have this giant beatdown with Inferno Dragon, Bandit, and Night Witch. This deck is really good against Hog Cycle guys, and they're also really good with other beatdown decks because this deck has Bandit for countering the Hog and Inferno Dragon for countering bigger tanks like Golem / P.E.K.K.A. The key to win with a beatdown deck is if you stay ahead in Elixir and counter push with 2 units backing up your tank. I have 3 very cool battle replays for you guys, so let's go over to the replays. I shared these replays yesterday with my clan, so they're really high up in the chat. Okay, so first we're going against Angie or Angie, and he's using a Rocket Hog Cycle deck with Lumberjack. I 3-crowned our opponent, so let's see how this deck works. Okay, so whenever I stop my battle, I wait till I get my 10 elixir, and also wait for my opponent to go first. That way I will be able to counter whatever he plays and still stay in elixir lead. So he plays down his Hog right at the end. I thought he was going to support his Hog with something, but he rockets my Inferno Dragon instead. I did not expect that. So his Hog dealt quite a lot of damage, but I prevented maybe like 1 hit putting down my Bandit. So our Bandit reached his tower. Our Bandit got like a couple of hits and his tower is down to 18, 40, 94. So at this point, I put down my Giant behind my Crown Tower because I was loaded on 10 elixir. He puts his Lumberjack on the right lane for some reason. I thought he should have, he was gonna counter my Giant with something else. But I had to put my Night Witch and Ice Golem to distract the Lumberjack, because if that Lumberjack reached my tower, it was gonna deal a lot of damage. On the left lane, I put down my Inferno Dragon to back up that Giant, but he decides to rocket it for some reason, guys. I don't know why. On the right lane, I put down my Bandit to support that Night Witch as well. So on the right tower, he has 383, and on the left tower, he has 628. So I just made him do a double lane push. On the left side, there was a Hog coming, so I distracted the Hog. Not distracted, I mean I froze the Hog with the Ice Spirit and put down my Night Witch to counter it really quick. So we're looking pretty good, guys. I'm still ahead on elixir. I have a lot of elixir lead. His Knight is almost gonna go down with that Night Witch, and I put down my Inferno Dragon hoping he's gonna play his tank, but I didn't know he didn't have a tank. He was using like a Hog Rider deck. He ended up rocketing my baby dragon for some reason. I don't know why he did that. That was really bad play on his part. On the right side, I didn't support my Giant because I knew that Giant was going to get to his tower, and he didn't have enough elixir to counter my Giant anyways. So I decided to put my Bandit on the left lane, but it gets countered by the Valkyrie. On the right lane, he has a Hog coming in with the Lumberjack's Rage. I put my Ice Spirit to freeze the Hog, and I put my Baby Dragon on the left to stop that Valkyrie. Then I add a Bandit again, and he rockets my Inferno Dragon again, guys. I don't know why, but he just keeps rocketing my Baby Dragon. I guess he doesn't have an air counter for that. On the left lane, I put down my Giant rushing in, and on the right lane, there's a Night Witch rushing in. I poisoned his Lumberjack and the tower, and at this point, he really can't do anything. So that was a good game, guys. I won because I was leading in elixir, and he was like, I guess he didn't know how to play. He just rocketed my Baby Dragon. That's not how you counter a Baby Dragon, guys. That's a very bad counter. So yeah. So in the next battle, we are against me, Chupa, and looks like he's using the very popular P.E.K.K.A. beatdown deck. So let's watch the gameplay, guys. At this moment, like, I didn't know what deck he was playing, so yeah, I just waited. Whenever I play a battle, I wait as usual to get my elixir up to 10 bars. So yeah. At this moment, we both are waiting and watching who's gonna go first. So I decided to put my Giant behind my King's Tower. because I had the Ice Golem and Ice Spirit on my hand, if he rushes in on the right lane, I was gonna use my Ice Spirit to freeze the Hog or whatever the thing he uses. On the right lane, I push with my Bandit. I did not know he had a P.E.K.K.A. He puts the P.E.K.K.A. on the back. Then I put down a Baby Dragon, but my Baby Dragon gets countered by those 3 Elixir minions. So now on the left lane, I need to worry about that P.E.K.K.A. and those 2 minions. Well, what I do is I kite that P.E.K.K.A. right because I needed to cycle back to my Baby Dragon. So that P.E.K.K.A. is following my Giant all the way. Then he decides to put another P.E.K.K.A. At this moment, I didn't know what to do, so I put down my Night Witch and freeze the P.E.K.K.A. so that P.E.K.K.A. won't do a lot of damage. He hits my Night Witch once, but didn't kill my Night Witch. There's another P.E.K.K.A. approaching me, and there's only one bat alive, and I distract the P.E.K.K.A. with my Ice Golem. So that's how you deal with P.E.K.K.As, guys. You need to stay ahead on Elixir and play efficiently. I just countered 2 of those P.E.K.K.A. with 1 Night Witch and like an Ice Golem. So yeah, that's how you basically play this game. So now I have my Giant and my Inferno Dragon back in the rotation. He puts down a Knight behind his King's Tower. I knew he was going to put his P.E.K.K.A. in front of his Knight. He puts down a Wizard behind his Knight, so I was sure he was going to play his P.E.K.K.A. behind his Knight. So I predicted that, and I put my Night Witch on the left. And I also put my Inferno Dragon on the left. He puts down his minions, but I quickly poison it because I didn't want my Inferno Dragon to die. So Inferno Dragon quickly kills the P.E.K.K.A. The Wizard died. On the right hand side, the Giant reaches his tower. He puts down a Goblin Gang, but I logged that, so that was a really valued log. On the left lane, I put in a Bandit to counter push, but his Knight counters my Bandit. At this moment, I'm just basically rushing him because I don't want him to play his P.E.K.K.A. As soon as he plays his P.E.K.K.A., I want him to get countered by my Inferno Dragon. My Giant gets like 3 hits on his tower and I poison it, so his tower is down like very low. His P.E.K.K.A. dies to my Inferno Dragon. I lock the Goblin Gang, so yeah, all I have to do is just cycle back to my Zap guys and I can just zap his tower. On the right lane, I just put in my Bandit and he puts down Fire Spirits. My Ice Spirit kills the Fire Spirits, and there you go. My Bandit just one-shots the tower. That was a good game by me, Chupa. So yeah, I just won because I was playing efficiently and I had a big Elixir lead. Okay, on the next battle, we're going against Alcatraz 26. And he's using a very unusual deck with Hog Rider, Giant Skeleton. I haven't seen this deck before, so yeah, let's get started on this replay. Okay, so as usual, I'm waiting for my Elixir bar to hit 10. Okay, so he puts down a Wizard, and I thought he was going to support that Wizard with something, so I put my Giant right there. But he supports his Wizard with Elite Barbarians. I put my Bandit to counter his Elite Barbarians and counter his Wizard. My Bandit charges onto his tower and deals like 500 damage. So yeah, he brings in a Hog. And I have to put that Ice Golem down because if that Fire Spirits hit my Night Witch, the bats would have died. And if the bats would have died, the Hog Rider would have gotten more. Hog Rider would have done more damage on my tower. So I had to distract that Fire Spirits. The Valkyrie dies with the Night Witch. The Night Witch on the tower. He's just gonna. I think he's just gonna ignore the Night Witch, but he puts it on a Wizard, which kills the Night Witch and the bats. So his left tower is down to 931. I thought he was gonna support his Wizard with some other tank or something. That's why I put down my Baby Dragon. I mean Inferno Dragon. But he doesn't. So I support that Inferno Dragon with a Bandit push. And this was totally unexpected. He puts down a Giant Skeleton. I haven't seen a Giant Skeleton in a battle for so long, guys. So I decided to poison. I thought he was gonna play like a Goblin Gang, Scar Me or something like that. But he puts down a Giant Skeleton, which was really unexpected. At this moment, I didn't have my Inferno Dragon in rotation, and he puts down a his Elite Barbarians. His Giant Skeleton dies from our Night Witch, Unfortunately, our Night Witch dies because of the giant skeleton's drop bomb. Those elite barbs dies from the bats. I don't know why I keep calling elite barbs Electro Wizard. Okay, I counter push with the Bandit Ice Spirit, but he gets rid of that with the Valkyrie and Wizard. I knew he was gonna play his Hog, so I put my Ice Golem on the right to distract the Valkyrie and the Wizard, and the Night Witch to kill the Hog. So now I added Giant in front of my Night Witch and Inferno Dragon, but Night Witch unfortunately dies and only 3 bats are alive. He fireballs my Inferno Dragon to kill it, but it was too late. The Giant was unable, he was unable to stop my Giant. So yeah, and he has like a Giant Skeleton, Valkyrie, and a Wizard approaching me on the left. So I had to poison it to kill that Giant Skeleton, guys. Because yeah, and his Hog, our baby Inferno Dragon targets his Hogs, and yeah, that's how you take care of that push, guys. I was leading in Elixir a lot, and he couldn't do anything. So yeah, I put down a Giant just in case he decides to rush in, but it was too late anyway, so that was GG by him. So the second deck I'm going to be sharing with you guys is this Hog Rider with Rocket Cycle deck, guys. This deck is good against all the 3 Musketeer decks that are going around in the meta at the moment, and it also counters other Hog decks. So let's jump into the first battle. Now I have to scroll all the way up. Okay, so we're going against 3-star, and he is using the Lava Hound with triple Wizard, Night Witch, and Lumberjack. So as you can see, this deck will be really hard to get past because of his 3 Wizard defense and his Knight, Lumberjack, and Night Witch. This was a really close battle, guys. I think you'll like it. So let's jump into the battle. Okay, so as usual, I'm using my Hog deck. I don't remember if I switched the decks or not, but this is the deck. You will also see this deck on the screen on top right. So yeah. Okay, so I rush in with a Hog and Ice Spirit. Following up, I had to rocket the Night Witch because I didn't want him to support that with anything. On the left, he had a Knight, and I distract his Knight with my Knight. So by the time he played his Lava Hound, I knew that he was gonna be using like a Lava Loon deck with Night Witch, and I didn't know he didn't have a balloon. So I put my Executioner on the left, thinking that he will play his balloon, which will come to the left. But he counters our Executioner with the Miner, and unfortunately our Executioner dies. At this moment, I'm thinking that like I lost because I can't do anything. He has like a Lava Hound targeting my right tower. He puts down a Lumberjack on the left tower. Yeah, at this moment I was like, yeah, I'm done. There's no way I'm winning this battle. But then I still had a lot of health left on my left tower compared to his right tower, so I push in left on his left tower with my Hog and 3 Fire Spirits. My Hog did 900. My Hog did a lot of damage onto his left tower, and his right tower is down to 626. So both of the towers have like 200 difference, 200 HP difference. I accidentally put my Executioner on the left. I should have played him on the right because I knew he was gonna play his Lava Hound on the right. So I put down my Knight to counter his Wizard and Ice Wizard, and I supported my Knight with the Hog. And there's an Electro Wizard approaching us on the left, but I don't need to worry about him because he was just one shot. So I take out his tower on the right, and his Lava Hound is targeting my tower on the right. So I knew that the tower on my right is gone. I just put down my Executioner because I didn't want him to 3-crown me. He rushes in on the left lane with the Miner and the Lumberjack, but then I counter push with my Hog on the left, but our Hog gets countered really quickly, by his Electro Wizard and Night Witch. I rocket the Night Witch because I didn't want him to support his Night Witch with anything, because Night Witch is really OP, guys. Like, Night Witch is one of the strongest cards in the game. He puts down his Lumberjack in the middle. I predicted that, that's why I put my Executioner in the middle. He puts down his Miner, but he gets taken out real quick, and all I had to zap his tower because his left tower was at like 64 health. So that was very played by 3-star. So yeah. Okay, so next up is Leo 2000, and he's using a very popular Hog Cycle deck, which consists of Miner Hog Rider combo. So let's watch this gameplay. Okay, so I have Hog Rider, Log, Fire Spirits, and Rocket in my hand. The next card is Zap. I don't have a lot of defensive cards, so I end up pushing him. I end up going first, rushing him onto the right lane, guys. So I got my Knight as a defensive card. He distracts my Fire Spirits by his Ice Spirit. That was very, like, that wasn't a great play by him. He wasted so much elixir just to counter my Hog and Ice Spirits. He uses Electro Wizard, Tornado, and his Ice Spirit. That was a waste of his elixir. His Night Witch and Electro Wizard gets countered by my Knight. He puts down his Hog, and I didn't have any good counter for the Hog, so I had to put down my Executioner. His Hog did a lot of damage to my tower, but that was okay. I had an Executioner on the platform. I put down my Hog with Fire Spirits backing him up. Unfortunately, one of the Fire Spirits gets hit by the Electro Wizard and dies. Our Executioner gets one hit on the Executioner. I mean Electro Wizard. He puts in a Miner, but I completely almost ignored that Miner because I knew Miner wasn't gonna do that much damage. So I just countered the Electro Wizard with my Knight. So I have an Executioner on the platform. That Knight gets taken out by the Night Witch. Guys, Executioner is the best counter for the Night Witch at the moment. Night Witch, because she dies when she spawns Bat, the Executioner kills the Bat instantly. So right now, I have the Hog and Executioner on his right lane. The Executioner somehow kills the Electro Wizard. I don't know how, but he puts down his Musketeer now. I knew he was gonna push in with his Miner or a Hog, so he comes in with the Miner, and I put down my Fire Spirits onto the Musketeer because Musketeer do more damage, but that was a smart play on him. He used his Tornado to lure my Fire Spirits away. So right now I have a Knight and a Witch. I have a Knight and the Executioner on the right lane. I rush onto the left lane because I knew he wouldn't have been able to take care of my Hog because he didn't have any elixir. And on the right tower, I could just rocket it really easy. On the left tower, the Hog did so much damage. Now it's within my rocket range. This guy doesn't know that I have rocket. So yeah, I mean he do know I have rocket. I guess I used it before, but there's nothing he could do. So I just have to rocket his left tower and zap his right tower. So that was a good game. Well played by him. Yeah, that was very well played by Leo 2000. Yeah, I just played efficiently, guys. I just had double lane pressured him, and I was leading in elixir like most of the match. So that's how you win, guys. Okay, so next up is Kratos, and he's using Royal Giant with Cannon Cart Goblin Barrel combo. I ended up getting 2 crown with this deck, so let's jump into the gameplay. Okay, so in my hand I have Rocket, Log, Ice Spirit, and Zap. My next card is Executioner. I didn't know what deck he was using, so I didn't know what to do. So first, he starts off with the Royal Giant behind his King's Tower, and I thought, oh no, that he's gonna be using like a really OP Royal Giant deck. So I put my Executioner on bottom left behind my tower, but he puts a cannon card behind the Royal Giant. I push away the cannon card with my log and put my knight in front of it because I didn't want that cannon card to target my executioner. So yeah, I used my log to to push back the cannon cart, but he had a goblin barrel, and my left tower was done. I couldn't do anything about that tower, guys. At this moment, I didn't give up. I still thought that I could make a really good comeback. So yeah, most Royal Giant decks they use minion horde. So what I decided to do, I put my hog down on the left lane and I rocketed right in front of his tower, hitting his tower and those bats. I thought he was gonna have minion horde, but he used bats instead. By the way, I haven't seen or used bats in this game, guys. I barely played with bats and barely seen them being used. He puts down a Royal Giant and a Baby Dragon. I try to stop it, but he uses his heal to heal back his Royal Giant and Baby Dragon's health. And my tower is also targeting Baby Dragon, so his Royal Giant's still alive, and his Royal Giant did more than half a damage on my tower. At this moment, I'm thinking that yeah, he's just gonna rush in on the left with his cannon cart, so I have to be ready. I jump in with my Hog Rider and Fire Spirits. So yeah, my Hog Rider gets onto his tower, but didn't finish off the tower. Now that tower is in my rocket range, and I'm thinking he's gonna put his Royal Giant right in front. Yeah, he does, but I had no choice, and I had to rocket his Royal Giant, guys, because I couldn't take any more damage to my King's Tower. If I did, he probably would have 3-crowned me. So he has bats coming up. I decided to push him on the right lane because I could just rocket cycle his left lane. He lightnings my Hog Rider on the right lane. That was really bad move by him. He could have just played Baby Dragon or his Goblin Barrel, but he lightninged my Hog. That was really bad by him. On the left lane, I thought he was gonna rush in with the Royal Giant. That's why I put my Executioner there to get rid of that Baby Dragon. But he puts his Royal Giant on the right lane, and at the same time, I put it rush in with my Hog Rider, and his tower is down to 1309. I zapped those bats because I didn't wanted my knight to die. He throws in his Goblin Barrel, but it gets logged real quick. My Executioner attacks the cannon cart, and it's almost done. And I forgot that once cannon cart's shield is down, it becomes like a regular cannon. Cannon. So I completely forgot about that. His tower is down to 717. He goes in with another Goblin Barrel, and I log it again. Now, I put down my Hog, and I did not expect him to have a clone. My Hog Rider hits his tower once, and now all I have to do is just rocket it. So that was very well played by our opponent, Kratos. Yeah, I just played efficiently, guys. I stayed ahead on Elixir, and I kept cycling my Hog. That's how I won. I double link pressured him, and I kept cycling my Hog with my rocket. So yeah, that's how I won with this deck, guys. Okay, so the third and the last deck I have for you guys is another giant beatdown deck with Tornado Executioner, Electro Wizard, and Baby Dragon. This deck is great against other great beatdown decks and the infamous Bridge Spam deck. So let's get to the replays. Oh, whoops! I have to scroll all the way back up. So yeah. Okay. So first up is the best, and he is using a Royal Giant with minor minion horde combo. I ended up 3-crowning him, so let's watch the replay. Okay, so I have Giant, Tornado, Arrows, and Log. So I have my tank and 3 spells in my hand, and no other defensive card. I didn't know what deck he was using. He puts down his Royal Giant, so I thought I'm gonna put my my tank in front of his tank because I wanted my Giant to reach his tower before his Royal Giant reaches mine. He puts down a minion horde, but I arrowed his minion horde. That was very well arrow. He rushes in with the miner, but our Electro Wizard and the tower takes down the Royal Giant. I tornado the miner to my King's Tower, so my King's Tower gets activated. On the right lane, his tower goes down because of our Giant and Electro Wizard. So yeah, he puts down a wizard instead of stopping my Giant and Electro Wizard. He puts down a wizard on the right lane without backing him up. So I have to use my Baby Dragon to counter his wizard. His King's Tower is down to 1375. I don't know why he's doing this, but he just used his Knight to distract the Baby Dragon. I think he was cycling back to his Royal Giant or something like that. So he puts down his Royal Giant, and I had to put down my Executioner to counter his Royal Giant, and I put down my Electro Wizard to zap his Royal Giant, and didn't deal that much damage. I didn't have enough elixir to put down my Giant, or else I would have put my Giant in front of the Electro Wizard. His tower is taking constant damage. The poison isn't gonna do much. He used an Executioner to stop my... he used his Miner to stop my Executioner, because his tower is down to 495. Now there are goblins and a miner trying to counter my Giant, but I added a Baby Dragon behind my Giant. I had arrows in my hand, so I just arrowed his minion horde. That wasn't very smart of him. Our Giant is approaching his tower, and like a couple of hits from our Giant, his tower is gonna be done. So yeah, and he didn't have any other card to stop our Giant. If he had like a building like an Inferno or something, yeah, he would have definitely had better luck with his deck. If he would have had like a Skarmy or something like that, even Barbarians, that would have still stopped my Giant. But he didn't have anything to counter my Giant with except his minion horde, which got countered by my arrows. Okay, so next up is Turker, and Turker is using the very popular Golem Double Witch deck with heal, and this was a very fun battle, guys. Yeah, so let's jump in. Okay, so I have my Giant, Tornado, Baby Dragon, and Fire Spirits, and my next card is Electro Wizard. He puts down his Night Witch behind his King's Tower. At this moment, I thought he was gonna support it with a tank, so I put down my Giant behind my tower. On the right, he mirrors his Mega Minion, so I had to use a Fire Spirits, but he uses heal to heal back his Mega Minion's health. I had to tornado his Mega Minions because they were gonna deal a lot more damage. On the left lane, I have my Giant and the Baby Dragon attacking him. I think he didn't play his Witch until he reached 6 elixir. So yeah, our Baby Dragon dealt a lot more damage. Yeah, his tower on the left is down to 71 health. There's a Witch coming towards me. I put down my Executioner. At this moment, I didn't know what he was playing. He had Mega Minion, Mirror, 2 Witches. I was really confused, but once his left tower goes down, he puts down his Golem. So our Giant takes down his tower on the left. Unfortunately, our Executioner dies from his Mega Minion, and there is a Night Witch still attacking our Giant, and so on. So I had to put my Baby Dragon down. I didn't want it to take any damage from the Night Witch, because guys, Night Witch is really OP. Like even one hit from her does a lot of damage. So there's only 10 seconds left to double elixir time. He puts down his Golem, and I'm thinking, okay, so he has a Golem double witch deck. He's probably gonna use his heal if I try to counter his witches. So I put down my Electro Wizard and Executioner behind him. I used my Tornado to line the Golem and Witch together. He was late to put... I knew he was gonna put down his heal. That's why I logged. He was a little late to put down his heal, I guess. He should have probably played his heal earlier, so his Witch would have survived. and his golem breaks apart because I have two Electro Wizard, a Baby Dragon, and an Executioner supporting my Giant. And I put another Executioner because he puts down another Golem. Unfortunately, he arrowed our Fire Spirits and Electro Wizard, or else I would have 3-crowned him. His Golem gets taken out really quickly. Look at his Golem, it's already done. I kept pushing his tower on the left. He uses heal on his Mega Minion and his Night Witch, but there was no like use because there wasn't enough time. He mirrored his heal, but didn't matter because there wasn't enough time. So that was well played by Turker. That was really fun battle. So yeah. Next battle is with Allison, and that person is using the Hog Rider Battle Ram with Elite Barbs. It looks like a different version of Bridge Spam deck, but looks more aggressive. So let's watch this replay. Okay, so I have my Giant, Executioner, Tornado, and Log. My next spell is Fire Spirits. Okay, so I have pretty good hand at the moment. He rushes in with Elite Barbarians. I had to put down my Giant because I didn't have anything else to counter those Elite Barbarians with, and I Fire Spirits those Barbarians to get rid of the Giant. I mean those Elite Barbarians. So I don't have a tank yet. I didn't know he had a Hog. He plays in his Hog, but I lured his Hog with my Tornado to my King's Tower and activated my King's Tower. And he also had a Battle Ram. At this time I was like, what is this deck is he using? So he puts down 3 aggressive cards, Battle Ram, Hog, and Elite Barbarian. And so yeah, I had perfect counters for all of them. I added a Giant in front of my Executioner. But okay, I wanted to pause right here, guys. As you saw, he puts down his Electro Wizard, and I knew he was gonna put something down to counter my Executioner with something. So I put my Fire Spirits right behind my Executioner. As soon as his Wizard steps on the ground, one hit from those Fire Spirits and Executioner kills the Electro Wizard instantly, guys. I'm telling you, Fire Spirits are really good. Their area damage, splash damage is so good, guys. They're really underrated, but if you don't use them a lot, try using them like once or twice, and I'm sure you guys will be impressed by them. Okay, so there's our Giants approaching this tower. Musketeer survives, unfortunately. He puts down a Bomber to counter our Executioner. I had to put down my Baby Dragon because Bomber would have dealt so much damage. Bomber is another great card, guys, that is really underrated. So yeah, he rushes in with the Hog. I had to Tornado it, and so yeah, because I didn't want his Hog to do any more damage. His tower on the left is at 1208, and our tower is at 1901. We're still looking pretty good. I had to log and quickly put down my Giant in front of his Elite Barbarians because I didn't want those Elite Barbarians to do any damage to my tower. There's a Battle Ram approaching us, but our Electro Wizard counters the Battle Ram with the help of the King and the Crown Tower. So our Giant is at like almost dead. He hits the tower twice. Now his tower is down to 617. I knew he was gonna add his Hog, so I had to ready up my Tornado. I ready up my Tornado, log real quick, and kill his Hog real quick. He rushes in on the right lane. Now he's desperate to win because there's only like 30 seconds left to double elixir time. He's desperate, so he's playing very aggressively. He rushes in on the right with the Elite Barbarians. He rushes in with the Battle Ram on the left. I knew my Electro Wizard would have been able to counter his Battle Ram. On the right lane, I didn't want it to ignore the Hog, so I had to Tornado it with the Bomber. So yeah, I'm gonna be adding the Giant in front of the Electro Wizard because he didn't have anything else to counter his my Giant with except his Elite Barbarians. So our Giant unfortunately gets countered with the help of Elite Barbarians, Electro Wizard, and his tower. I put down my Executioner to quickly kill those Elite Barbarians and Electro Wizard. On the right lane, he rushes in with the Battle Ram. because he's really desperate, guys. He didn't have like any other way to kill, like destroy me, because he was getting countered over and over. Over here, I decided to save my giant's health and use my fire spirits and take a little bit of damage from those elite barbarians, because I wanted my giant to reach his tower, because I didn't have like a strong direct direct spell. So all I need now is like one hit from my baby dragon or giant, and that's game. That was very well played by him or her. So yeah, that was very well played by Allison. So those were the 3 decks I created, guys. These decks are really strong if you know how to play them correctly and efficiently. Remember, guys, leading in elixir is the key to win all the battles. If you're ahead in elixir, you can counter anything in any combo. Hope you all enjoyed today's video, guys. Please drop a like, leave a comment, and I will catch you all in the next video. Peace out, everybody.